Well, I wanted to start off by asking Anne-Marie about your character.
Mhm.
So we start off bad sisters. She has lost her husband, played by Claes, and this is also, it's a thriller and it's a dark comedy. So what is the grieving process going to look like for her this season?
That's who you meet, a woman in deep grief right at the beginning of the show. So you don't really know who she is because she's kind of defined by her love of her late husband, isn't she? So we don't know who she is. She's kind of a mystery. She's, to be unwrapped, isn't she? Well, she's one of the Garvey sisters, and that's where she started. And then she becomes Mrs. John Paul Williams. So the journey is that. The journey is the discovery of what that means. And sadly, what that has meant is that she is inside of a very coercive, unhealthy marriage. And what does that do to a woman? So that's kind of the journey of, I think, season one.
Yeah, Claes, that leads me to my next question for you, which was actually about how, a lot of the show is based around how JP is this pretty unlikable guy. The sisters are not fond of him. But as an actor, is it easier for you to kind of keep this character surface level, or are you finding yourself kind of diving into different parts of him, trying to figure out why he's acting the way he does?
Well, I actually quite early on thought finding out why he does what he does. I thought I had to make a decision. What? Otherwise, I'd go wrong, I think. So I think the thing that happens is that he feels that the bond and connection of these five Garvey sisters is a threat to him and his family. He feels all the time that someone is trying to take over his life. I don't know, and I don't really know why that is, because it's not really something that is real. But he sees these monsters everywhere, doesn't he? And that sort of was sort of the outset for me. That's where it's gotten to. For some reason, he does not feel secure enough within himself to sort of be within that whole framework. So that's sort of why he does what he does. I think that's the very short of it. But yeah.
Did you two work together at all off screen to cultivate this relationship? Because you're obviously trying to get it to come across a certain way. Did you work with the director at all to achieve that?
We had some rehearsal time before we started filming, and we did definitely sit down with Dervla, the director, and the two of us would chat, and try and work out what this marriage was. That was a massive priority for us because the jig would be up, if you didn't believe this marriage, if you didn't feel that that was the spinal column of the show. You need to really want to rescue Grace, and you need to despise her husband.
And we come in so late, the relationship, where it's already gone astray. So we did some, rehearsals and a little bit of improv here and there to just try and
fill in the blanks. Yeah.
Because when you come in, when there's no way back, we sort of need to know also what it was when it was actually, if it wasn't good, it was at least better than what it is now.
Yeah.
So that whole thing I think that was like the biggest challenge all the time, to keep it real and true and on that track where you could sort of also see, well, what a pity if they could just do this and this, and he could just stop doing all that bullshit, they could have a lovely marriage.
Yeah, you needed to feel that, didn't you?
Yeah.
To become exasperated enough with him.
And just like, here and there, just see a little bit of something of, hey, this could have been really good if he would just relax.
All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to have to wrap, but I'm super excited to see how the rest of the show plays out. I cannot wait to see what goes on.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys.